Alright guys, and welcome back. Right, this is part 2 of my Sharan disaster series. So basically, if you watched my previous video, you'll know my in-law's car, the injector came out the bonnet, well, 2 of the injectors. They're fastened down with an M6 stretch bolt. It's a VAG engine, CFFB, quite a common 2-litre diesel engine, not the best design. So, long story short, I've struggled getting the injectors out, the remaining injectors, replaced the rocker cover, put it all back together, and I broke one of the new stretch bolts fitting it. Now I think what's happened is there was maybe, because I was struggling to get them out, there's maybe a little bit of WD-40 or something in the bottom of the threads. I think it's probably hydrolocked and then not gone all the way in, and because the threads are the soft part and the actual top of the bolt is stronger, I think it's not fully gone in. It snapped really easily. Like when I say really easily, it snapped way below the torque setting. So it's not really my fault, but it kind of is if I haven't cleaned the threads out properly. That's the only thing I can assume I've done. Anyway, because you can clearly see the threads have stretched, the broken bolt is actually really tight in the hole. I can't get it out. I'm now 9 hours in. I've tried drilling it. I've tried everything. Tried all sorts, easy outs, the lot. I've broken a drill bit inside the bolt hole, so I'm really struggling. And even if I do get it out, I'm worried the same thing is going to happen again. So I think I've got a little bit of an engineering solution, which I'm going to try. I'm going to try and drill the bolt out, the hole out, to an M8 rather than an M6, and then use studding and nuts. And I've got some special injector clamp washers, which are very similar size to what the profile the original bolt would be, so it should fit really well. Being an M8, obviously, should withstand a little bit more torque. So, like I say, it's not a great design. They are quite common for breaking, and I just don't want it to happen again. Being a family car, I just want it to be safe and reliable. So in this episode, I'm hopefully going to get that done. So this is the offending hole. I've drilled it out to 6.8 millimeters, which means I can use the standard M8 by 1 1/4 bolt in it once I've tapped it out. So this is an injector bolt out of a Ducato, which we had laying around. It's an old one, and the seats, which go on the washer seats, they're going to fit really well inside the standard VAG bracket, and even the bolt goes through nicely. So I'm hoping that'll work. I may cut the end of this off and put a die down the end, get thread so I can use it as a stud instead, but I'll see how we get on. So I'm going to use this M8 tap. I'm going to put a bit of grease on the end to try and collect the swarf, because obviously we don't want loads of swarf going in the engine. This is just normal blue grease, nothing fancy. It's just to try and catch it, and then obviously hold it on a nice and square. So once you get it started, half a turn forward, quarter turn back, half a turn, quarter. Take your time. You don't want this to break inside the hole, because I can assure you, you're not going to get it out easily. Now with taps, you need to be careful, because you'll find there's various different types. So you start with a tapered one, and then you end with, I think they called it a plug tap. I think we're at the end. So again, wind it out really carefully. Yeah, as you can see, it's gone in about 3/4 of an inch, which is perfect. It's collected all the swarf. It's really good. So I'm now going to go in with the plug tap. So here's the plug tap. I believe it's called a plug tap. If it isn't, please let me know in the comments. As you can see, it's got less of a tape on the end, which allows the thread to go further down. So again, I'm going to put a bit of grease on it, and away we go. And that is my lot. You can hopefully see that's got a nice thread down it. I just need to clean it up. The bolt should go in well, but I think I'm going to convert it into a stud. So what I've done, I've cut the end of the bolt off and I've died the end. So I put a die down the end, which has meant that it's now a good stud. And obviously it's a proper injector bolt, so this should work really well. So I'm going to tighten this up manually with a pair of grips, and then we should be able to put it back together. Fingers crossed. Right, so far so good. Cam cover's back on. I'm just going to torque it down properly. This is a quarter drive torque wrench. It was like 30 quid, 9 Newton meters. If you over tighten these, you can find it the leak. So I'm 9 Newton meters, which doesn't feel very tight. That's what Volkswagen suggests. So that's what I'm going to do. Starting from the center, working out. There we go. Perfect. So first 2 injectors are in. I've just put a nut on. I've put my fancy domed washer on. I'm going to put a spring washer on, and then I'm going to tighten that up, and hopefully that'll be okay. Right, so that's 9. So these should be 8 plus 270. That to me feels very bloody tight. Some of them say 180, so we're going to go with that. Right, get these 2 in. Hopefully the new dreaded bolt won't break. And then we're plain sailing. Fingers crossed. Right. That is tight. So injectors are in. I'm really pleased. Now it's just a case of rebuilding it and hoping everything works. Obviously this injector's had quite a hammering, and I've taken the top off, so I'm praying it's okay. So I need to put the fuel rail back on, injector pipes, all that kind of stuff, and we'll go from there. Right, it's all back together. Just going to do a final check of the injectors, make sure everything's tight. So that's all the injector pipes are tight, including the pump pipe. Glow plugs are all connected. Fuel rail sensors are connected. Injectors are connected. Leak off pipes connected. I think everything's clicked in to where it should be. Breather's on. I think we're ready to try and start it. Wish me luck. And there we go. It's running again. I had a bit of air in the system. I had to get it out. It pressurised. Once I got that out, it struck straight up. I'm really pleased. Sounds good. I'm going to wash it all off, I think, get rid of all the diesel and the oil, and give it a good road test. But I think we are out the woods. Right, as you can see, I'm a little bit dirty. However, I've just road tested the Chiran. I've washed the engine bay off and it's driving absolutely beautifully. I've cleared all the fault codes, so I'm over the moon that I fixed it. Now, I've been about 11 hours on this now, so I've spent a lot of time. However, it's not really cost a massive amount because labour's free, you know. But it is for me anyway. So I'm, like I say, I'm overjoyed. It just proves that you can do things if you try hard. As I've said previously, if you enjoy my content, please subscribe if you haven't already. Please leave a comment and like. Don't worry guys though, there will be plenty of Aston Martin videos to come after this. This is just one of them little filling jobs I had to do. So, see you next Wednesday guys, and take care. Bye bye.